Anita, well, let's turn our attention now to a little car maintenance. For that, we're joined by our auto man, Brian Bowerstock of West Escondido Auto. Brian, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. So we've had a viewer write in complaining of the defrost. When it's turned on, the windows fog, and apparently there's some sort of not pleasant odor coming up.
Correct. Well, the smell of antifreeze is a sweet kind of smell that comes out. It's very distinctive. But what happens is...
Is sweet too kind a word?
Kinda.
Okay.
It's very distinctive, though,
Okay.
When you smell it, especially if you're in the automotive field. You really know what it smells like. And what happens is these are actually heater cores in two different designs. In the old days, they used to be made out of brass, and they withstood a lot of corrosion and things like that. You didn't have near as many problems with them.
Okay.
What we've gone to is aluminum heater cores now. They're quite a bit lighter than the older heater cores, and of course, auto manufacturers are trying to lighten up everything.
Right.
Better gas mileage, lighter cars. But what happens with aluminum is and you don't service the cooling system regularly, corrosiveness builds up inside of the aluminum.
Pretty quickly, or?
Rather quickly. We can see heater cores fail 3 to 4 year old cars if the cooling system isn't serviced properly. And electrolysis is also a problem with aluminum, which will eat a hole into the aluminum. And you get a small pinhole, and then what happens is you turn on the thing, it sprays out coolant in there, which comes up through the air system and onto the window, and the window will often fog.
Okay, so basically it's residue from corrosion.
Correct. That makes a small hole in this. Now, coolant circulates from the engine through this. This is just like a little radiator, like the radiator in front of your car. Only this is inside the dash of your car. And this is how you get the heat for your defrost and your heater and all that you wait on.
Which I use every morning.
Correct.
Come to the morning show.
Especially getting up as early as you guys do. It's definitely cool outside. And when you get a hole in one of these, then it can become even worse. You can start to see coolant on the floorboard of the car and things like that.
Okay, so now we know the cause, and how do we fix it?
The best way to fix it is keep the cooling system serviced on your vehicle to prevent the heater core from being damaged. But if the heater core is damaged, it is quite a large job. A lot of vehicles, the complete dash has to be disassembled to get the heater core out. And that's can be a very difficult process. So is this one of those things where we say should not try at home? You shouldn't really try it at home unless there's a lot of things inside a dash and on the news here we've done airbags and things like that, things that have to be dismantled to take a dash out, which can be very dangerous to work on sometimes. Even for a master technician, some of these are 8 to 12 hour jobs to replace a heater core, depending on the type of vehicle. Some vehicles are easier, some vehicles are a lot harder. Okay, so take it into a shop, typically? Correct. Or all the time? I would recommend it all the time, unless you've worked on vehicles before. You know, some people are handy enough they can do it themselves. This is not a job if you're just starting out to learn to do a little bit of maintenance on your own vehicle. This is not something I recommend tackling. Because like I said, even for a master technician, you're talking 8 to 12 hours on some vehicles to do this, and they can be rather difficult. Sometimes you're talking 500 to 700 fasteners to get the dash apart, to replace this, to put it all back together, not including sometimes you even have to evac and recharge the air conditioning system. Okay, so even if you've never heard of a heater core before, including myself, I've never heard of that until this morning, it's something you need to service and actually be aware of. Correct. Well, you service the cooling system, which prevents damages. The only time you ever would replace a heater core is if it does start to leak on a vehicle. Okay. Brian, thank you. No problem. And Brian Bowerstock, of course, thanks so much for your expertise. If you have a question, you can drop Brian an email, and his link is on our website, fox6.com, and you can click on Hot Topic.